Down in Pennygale on the Isle of Mull. We were just about to set off, go and catch the ferry, and there's some locals like, stop, there's tree surgeons on the island, stop, come here. So we've been had a look at this job, and we've got a bit of an issue here, haven't we? Oh dear, what's happened here? So a storm blew in, and it's knocked these two Scots pines, Pinus sylvestris. So he's knocked these over, smashed the deer fence down, and this gigantic root plate, huge root plate's come up. Look at that. Quite impressive, that, isn't it? Now, Scots pines have a real deep tap root, so they very, very rarely ever blow over. But I don't know if you can just see this here. So that white bit there, that's the tap root, and there's a lot of fungus in there. So there's a fungal infection got into the tree, obviously right at the tap root, and that's what's blown these trees over. So these are incredible, these are the most dangerous trees to deal with, because we've got a real issue with the tension and compression. Because as soon as we cut that root, that trunk up, that root plate's going to pop up. Unfortunately, this rhododendron's going to cop for it, but there's nothing we can do about that. So we'll get some cuts in, and first things first, we'll get that root plate all sorted out, and then we'll start snedding up the tree and cut it up, get it into some manageable pieces, and the estate can take it away. So what we've done is we've cut some cookies up to the where the trunk forks out. It's a shame we can't slab that. That'd be some beautiful timber in there. So now what we do with a dangerous tree like this is we take all the canopy back. So we assess the tree and we see which boughs the actual trunk sat on, and we stay away from those ones. Everything else gets mashed up. That's the safest way to get back to the stem and get this tree on the ground, so we can cut it up. So we've got two big sticks left up there, so we're going to fell them out, sned them up, and then we can quietly work away, keep nibbling away, get this tree on the ground, and once it's on the ground it's safe and we're not going to get squashed, and we can catch the ferry. It's going to be cut back, as I say, we can get this stump on the ground. A throne fit for the King of Scotland. So that's all you can do with a big stump like this, really, I suppose, isn't it? But it's the right spot, is this? You can spot for when the English are coming around the corner. No, actually, when we're coming round the corner, when the tree surgeons are back up on Mull. So let's have a look. So we're all logged up now. Everything's on the ground. Everything's safe, logged up. So the estate can come down, get this fence back up, keep the deer out of the garden. But it's just such a shame, really. It's 200-year-old, this tree were. So like, I suppose like 200 years since is when this area had been absolutely covered in the famed Caledonian forest. A lot of that was cut down for when the English came, as we usually do. We romp around the world, raping and pillaging the lands. All this was, the forest was cut down, felled, probably taken shipped back to England and covered with sheep. All the people got kicked off the land, the sheep came on, and then I suppose Scotland's still recovering from it now. So I just hope you can all get your independence. One last tree, right? We've had this beautiful oak tree, Quercus robur. So this is blown down in exactly the same storm a couple of weeks since. So we're just going to take this limb out so they can get this deer fence felled. And because, unfortunately, because the snap has torn down the stem, that's a perfect ingress point for disease. So I think we're going to return in a couple of months' time, and this beauty's coming down, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to see how old it is. I'd guess 300-year-old. We'll see when we start cutting. Right, so we've got all this logged up. We've got to count the tree rings, denoting the tree's age, and I was a little bit conservative in saying 300 years old, 350 years old. So I've got a B in history, but I'm guessing that Bonnie Prince Charlie was his twinkle in his daddy's eye back then. Well, you can tell some tailskin in this tree, can't it? 350 years old, standing watching the weather come in. It's just a shame it was the weather that caused its demise, I guess. So now that this big old limb must have taken up all this garden, we can just see how all the hazels have grown out from underneath the canopy. So now the tree's unbalanced. And with that point of ingress, it's quickly going to be some rot setting in there. So we'll be coming back in March, as I say, unfortunately take it out. But I might even fetch me Alaskan milk, because something has to be, something worthwhile has to be made from this tree, not firewood. Yeah.